Recording. And we are live. Welcome back to episode 82 of the RINO podcast. Happy belated Valentine's Day, Kaitlin. How was your Valentine's Day?
It was really good. Very low key. Chris and I had La Victoria in Beverly. I picked it up. Chris flew back very early in the morning from Florida after being there for a week, the land of the free.
Wait, is La Victoria a taqueria?
Yeah. Have you been there? I think
they have one in Arlington. I think if it's the same place, it's so fucking good.
It is amazing. Oh my god.
The pico de gallo is unreal. The homemade guac is insane. They get the tortilla super, super soft and moist, and when they make the quesadilla.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And you know what I just got into? You know what al pastor is? It's like the carnitas, the pork, the shredded pork.
Oh yeah, okay.
With pineapple.
Oh.
It's good. I had that at a taqueria in Woburn. Yeah, La Victoria. Good call. Good call.
Yeah.
I go out of my way for that place. And the chips are like homemade. They do it right.
Yeah, they're so good. They're like the thick ones.
Yes. Nice and salty. The big chunks of salt. Oh.
I always get the enchiladas there. Their enchilada sauce is just so good.
Enchilada sauce?
You know, the red sauce that goes on top of the enchilada.
Ooh, I'll try enchilada sauce. Okay. La Victoria. Big thumbs up. Go eat it. This episode is now sponsored by La Victoria. I gotta fix the light.
And the hardest workers that work there, they're so nice and awesome all the time.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. It's it's so good. I swear my family probably eats there at least once every 2 weeks, without question. Good, just fantastic. Well, I'm glad you had a good Valentine's Day. Mine was pretty low key as well. I did not get La Victoria. I think I made sausage and peppers. But do you know who had a great Valentine's Day? The Shaddocks. So, as my leg, I just got a cramp in my leg. Holy shit. That's
so Jeff and I
my god,
are super duper tall, and that is something that really happens to tall people. I understand your pain.
It's so bad.
Too. It happens to me too. You need to stand up.
Oh no, I can't. I just kicked it out straight.
Okay.
The show must go on. Come on. See, this is what I do for you people. And my other leg. Oh fuck.
Oh my god. So I used to get those when I swim. So the thing is that when you swim, you get your leg and a pointed toe, and so what would happen is you get these leg cramps that were crazy, and what you have to do when you get them is get out of the pool and stand up.
Okay.
You have to actually put weight on it.
Drop the cramp. Oh my god, it's so painful.
Oh my god, Jeff, you are not having a good one.
I'm taking this off. Holy shit. But it's never happened to me. Both my hamstrings. Oh my god. Hang on.
Everyone online just witnessed that.
Yeah. We're gonna clip that for the people. And my wife's texting me from the next room going, what the hell's going on? I am really being loud. Sorry, honey. Both my legs cramped up.
Are you okay?
It hurts so bad. I did legs today. I did a weight day with legs. Oh my god. Well, as I was saying, congratulations to Alice Shattuck and Tom for getting back together. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys.
Oh yeah.
I was going to give some good advice on being married. That would be stick it out. You have kids. It's not, there's worse things in the world. Don't Tom, poor Tom, 2 weeks ago. Jesus, he was a blubbering mess, but I'm glad they worked it out. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to say this the rest of
so just so you know.
All right, let me see if I can do this successfully. We're gonna go on to tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is the GOP POTUS.
Still feeling this. You can so tell that you're are you still feeling this? Or are you just
I'm not feeling it. I'm afraid to move my legs at this stage. So,
Okay.
so there's no pain directly right now, but holy fuck. No, I lifted with legs today, and I guess I just had them all bent.
Well, sometimes
tonight.
sitting down after you work out really hard is like feels almost worse, right?
Yeah, I stretched them too, so fuck. Okay. I'm going to play for everybody a couple clips. Let me do this first real quick. So Kaitlin can hear it. I'm going to share the audio. Advanced sharing. No, sharing. Advanced sharing. Computer audio. Share. This is what we do here. If I had a producer, I would be so much better. Okay. So, you ready? All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That you mentioned, and a lot of folks that we all know who are likely to run for president on the Republican side are more conservative. You're more moderate. Well, president,
really, because I'm ranked the most fiscally conservative governor in the country. I'm #1 in personal freedoms, right? I'm sorry, Ron, you're #2. Sorry, Florida. I would challenge anyone on Second Amendment rights. We're far and away the best, because we believe in those individual freedoms. Regulatory reform, I'll challenge any state on it. So am I more moderate on the social issues? Yeah, maybe, but that's not what I got in this game for management. I'm a manager, I'm a CEO. I like to manage and redesign systems. But I would tell you on those social issues, we get better results than almost anywhere else.
A lot of the folks that you mentioned
So in the text of this from Tim Meads USA, goes, today Sununu took a jab at Ron DeSantis. I'm #1 in personal freedom. Sorry, Ron, you're #2. We heard that. He also admitted that he has no desire to fight the culture war and is a moderate on social issues. He has
shout out to Tim. He's, I believe, at the Daily Wire.
Okay, so he has no desire to fight the culture war. All right, so this is clip #2.
Milford High School students staging a walkout Friday in response to the school board's bathroom restrictions that limit the number of students who can use the facilities to the number of stalls available.
Nobody asked for this. Nobody but the few parents who complained to the school board asked for this.
The board voted on the measure on Monday after a proposal was brought forth that would change the district's bathroom policy, which allows students to use whichever bathroom aligns with their gender identity. The proposal would require students to use the bathroom associated with their biological sex, male or female. While students agreed they do not like the current bathroom restrictions.
We're all a high school, and the fact that you see this many people out here right now ready to kind of stand against the school board just kind of signifies that.
Some have different opinions about what should be done to address the larger issue.
As a female, I don't think that it's safe to have males in our bathroom.
This is creating just a complex system of inequality within our LGBTQ+ students.
Teachers, parents, and administrators tell News 9 they're happy students were able to come together peacefully.
So proud of our students, I really am.
This is what gets the attention needed to make a decision that's best for everybody.
And I've reached out to every board member, and the ones who've responded say that they hear students' concerns and that this is an issue that will have to be brought up again. The next board meeting is scheduled for February 20th. Live tonight in Milford, Hannah.
So they banned
Milford,
New Hampshire. New Hampshire. Chris Sununu's state. Now, I got nothing against Chris Sununu. I mean this. I don't have anything against him. Except
Milford is near Nashua, just so everyone's aware.
So you have a situation where the culture war is in his backyard. This is the culture war. And if you don't want to fight the culture war, this isn't the war for Christmas, and it's Bill O'Reilly, and it's 2011. Okay, it's not. This is...
And we won the war on Christmas.
Oh, yeah, we did. Well, yes.
We won the war on Christmas, okay? Everyone calls it Christmas now. No one complains. There's no liberals being like, oh, my God, I can't believe they're complaining about the Starbucks Red Cup. Blah, 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 blah. Merry Christmas.
And on December 24th, we all raise our glasses to celebrate the victory of the war on Christmas.
We won the war on Christmas. But it's still a battle. It's still a battle every year.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not just that anymore. Okay? It is daily in our schools, in curriculum, in the teachers that are being hired. this is obviously all those are education related topics, and that is the primary place it is. But it's also in corporations, in companies, in DEI officers who are pushing what's coming out of the academy, out of academia, this insane neo-Marxist ideology. So we don't get to say, I don't want to fight the culture war, because the culture war has been declared on us. Okay? Chris Sununu, I don't know where the guy's been for the past 5 or 10 years. You don't get to take a pass on that. They want to ban urinals in Milford, New Hampshire. That's your state, Governor. Do you think that's okay? Is this something where you just go, well, personal freedom? No, that personal freedom is the libertarian approach. And you know what we think about libertarians on this podcast. That's not what we're talking about here. Okay, there does need to be. We're not, not anarchists. Well, I guess some new version of anarchy. There needs to be somebody that steps up and is willing to take these on, not avoid the fight. And if you don't want to have that fight, that's fine. You don't have to, but you're not getting my vote. That's for damn sure.
So this is from, it's a new kind of newsletter. Is it Semaphore?
I don't know what that is.
I think it's that, the guy who was at BuzzFeed and then went to New York Times, and I think he created this. I could be completely wrong on that.
Okay.
Probably more than 50% wrong on that. But this is a quote on Chris Sununu. In this, Chris Sununu could carry the moderate banner for 2024. Okay. During his first term, Sununu signed legislation banning discrimination based on gender identity. Last year, he killed a parental bill of rights, which would have required schools to tell parents if their child or their children changed their gender identity while in class.
Is that part of the personal freedoms thing? Because this is where libertarianism and being a Republican totally clash. Because no.
Yeah, because being a libertarian and not having a child that's under 18, having their parents notified of these things, that's not okay with me. Correct.
And that's the correct position to have.
That's the FYI, that's also the normie position. I just want to make sure everyone's aware. Like, that's the normal position. New Hampshire, not like some, like, I don't know why people even think this. It is like one of the first primaries in the nation. It's not really a bellwether for where the nation is at.
No, but it's a theoretical R that never goes R, right? Because Kelly Ayotte was senator and they have a Republican governor. So, like, yeah, they're in the tent, but they're not, leading the wagon train, right?
Trump killed us in New Hampshire. Like, Ayotte would have won. Trump was not on the ballot. Like,
yeah. So look, if the governor wants to run his state however he wants, that's fine. But if you're looking for the presidential nomination in the Republican Party, those aren't the positions to have. I get there is a mindset with a non-zero amount of Republicans out there who go, no, we just need a manager and to run it right. And it's like, no, we need to cut it and shrink it and kill this department.
The president is not a manager anymore. Like, a governor, you can get away with saying that a governor is a manager. Charlie Baker was a manager, and he was a damn good one.
Right.
But Chris Sununu, is he even a manager of New Hampshire?
But I mean, the way every state is basically set up is a mini federal government system. The legislature should be running each state. They're the ones that allocate the budgets. Now, and yes, the governors run the departments and public safety and things like that, but the actual mechanism that gets things done is the legislature in a state. And that's how it should be, and it was set up to be in D.C. We've defaulted to this more concentrated power in the executive, but it shouldn't be that way. So the problem I have now is Sununu may pull 4 to 6% of the vote. That isn't gonna, that vote isn't gonna vote for Trump. in what could be another crowded field, with you have probably Larry Hogan getting in, and we'll talk about
what Larry Hogan in. Like, that's one of the things where, like,
I don't know.
Like, Nikki Haley has a better shot than two of these men. Like, and we're like skeptical on Nikki Haley. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand why our Republican primary, when everyone knows what's on the line, is using our primary as a launch pad for their bullshit. Like, that's one of the things that's starting to piss me off.
Because I'll tell you, look, we know, I know maybe a few more than you do, but we run in these circles. And the people who want a job, need money, tell their meal ticket. No. What America really wants is a moderate. With America's, aren't you just tired of fighting the social issues? Aren't you just tired of hearing about it? It's like, well, yeah. Well, yeah, that doesn't mean you take a step back. It's like you got to win the fight. You don't run away from it.
Right. Well, even if you're a moderate, like, that's the thing, and be like, okay, like, I'm not cool on abortion. Like, you can still do that from a moderate position and not be a pushover. Like, I mean, people gave Charlie Baker a ton of shit. He vetoed the Roe Act in Massachusetts. So, like, I would rather have that standing in front of it than, like, Chris Sununu being like, I would not do anything on the social stuff. And it's like, why do you think you are going to be president?
Yeah. There are lots of issues and scenarios where the federal government is going to come into play, whether it's with the purse strings or whether it's with something, education related, where you need to get in the fight. You can't avoid it. And there's around here, in the Northeast, there is a significant chunk, and by significant, I mean around 20% of Republicans or Republican-leaning voters who I'll call them can't we all just get along, guys, Republicans? Oh, it's just both sides are just so darn partisan. It's like, no.
Well, yeah, no shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, we live in a very polarized time. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to somehow vote for Seth Moulton again, like what I did in 2016 when I was mad at Trump. Like, I'm not there anymore. Like, I am not going to just get along with Seth Moulton after he shit on my home state during COVID. Like, I'm not going to just get along with some of these people. It is not going to happen.
There are like I said, about 20%, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, of Republicans who are, I won't even say moderate on their views of policy because they might be more conservative, but they're moderate in their views of engaging the other side. And their approach is always, their default position is, well, it's our fault first and we should change the way we're doing things and then more people will vote for us. And that leads me to our next candidate, Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley's message appears to be, vote for me because I'm the electable one. Now, what's unsaid there is that she means that other people, I'm assuming Trump, but maybe she's ignoring DeSantis, is the unelectable candidate. Kaitlin, I'll do this McLaughlin group style. Yes or no? Is that, just on its face, is that a good strategy out of the gate? I'm the electable one.
Well, I mean, compared to Sununu, probably for her, yeah, but compared to Ron DeSantis or Trump right now, no. Sorry, that was a long answer for a poll question.
I think, I don't know. Nikki, if you asked me in 2017, Nikki Haley's going to run for president in 2024, you going to vote for her? I would have been like, absolutely. Absolutely. In 2017. I don't know. Somebody else has stolen my heart. What am I going to say? Like, it was a crush. I had
He got elected in 2018, and he got elected by how many thousand? Like, wasn't it like 40K?
It was slim. It was a slim. It was a very close election.
And then he went from a slim election to a plus 30.
A landslide. A landslide. Now, I mean, politically, I had a, what? We all have crushes, right? I had a crush on Nikki Haley. She was great. Former governor, ambassador to the UN, well-spoken, smart, articulate, knows that.
She stood up to the Palestinians at the UN.
And I get it because there's the consultant class loves her, as they should. She's their candidate. But it's like, she's a great cheeseburger, but there's some steak out there. There's a nice prime ribeye, and it's being marinated as we speak.
Yeah.
I don't know what her what I heard for 2 weeks prior to her announcing yesterday. Prior to her announcing yesterday, what I heard for 2 weeks was Nikki Haley. She'll do better than you think.
That's not what you should be.
Is that a selling point?
So like that as a selling point tells me that she's gunning for VP or an admin job.
And you know what? Good for her.
Because South Carolina, you have to remember the order of primaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's number one?
Well, primaries, New Hampshire. Right now, I don't know if things have changed.
The first caucus is Iowa.
Caucuses are in Iowa first. Then the first primaries in New Hampshire.
So right now, Ron DeSantis is polling really well in Iowa. He's probably going to start going there. Trump is not doing well with these rural voters he's not drawing them out in places where he needs to right now. He's not going to win New Hampshire. Ron DeSantis will win New Hampshire. The polling
Yeah.
So guys, going into this, here's my thing that I always tell people with polling and presidential primary polling, because I knew that Trump was going to start winning. In 2016, he was going to get the nom, and I was really depressed because that was back when I was never Trumper and shit. And then all this, I changed. But anyway, I voted for Trump in 2020. I think you and I both did, and we're not fine with what happened after.
No.
You look for Iowa, you look for New Hampshire. It'll go into Nevada. Nevada is also a caucus, and then it's going to start going down into South Carolina. And so if Ron DeSantis wins, he'll probably win Iowa, New Hampshire. Trump will probably win Nevada. If it goes down into South Carolina, because South Carolina will probably be the first battle. If Ron DeSantis wins South Carolina, there's going to be a changing of the tides. I just want to make sure everyone's very upfront about that. That's my thing.
Yeah. The thing about it, it's you're right. I think if somebody's smart, I don't know who's advising. Well, actually, I do know. We do know who's advising these candidates, but what they're advising them and be like, look, what do you want to do? Like, is somebody telling them really, you could be president?
That's what they're doing with Chris Sununu, which pisses me off.
That I think they're actually. I think they're telling. I think people who are advising Sununu are actually telling him, "No, man, you can really do this, absolutely." And
stop.
No, I think the people advising Haley are like, "Look, you were UN ambassador. You could easily slide into the VP spot or Secretary of State. Like the top two tier. Those are the positions, right? Those are the top two that you can negotiate for." And you don't have negotiating power as the former ambassador to the UN. You have negotiating power of, I'm running for president. I think Nikki Haley's ceiling in a lot of these races is probably about 18%. I'm going to call it at that number. I think that's her ceiling.
I think I actually think that's generous.
It might be, but
I'd say 15, but 15 and 20, okay.
So, but I'm calling it a hard number at 18. That being the case, though, that's a lot of votes. That has some sway. That has delegates, right? So that has, that has implications. So it can help a DeSantis administration to have that kind of leverage. And people play this game, but nobody like Larry Hogan doesn't have that kind of juice. Asa Hutchinson doesn't have that kind of juice.
That helps Nikki Haley throughout this entire thing is when she, after 2020, created her PAC. She really helped fund a lot of congressional candidates, and I think that kind of party play really helps. More so than I would say Chris Sununu, who didn't really help that much in 2022. He made them, they tried to, the legislate, he threatened to veto a map. So that was not good. Redistricting is redistricting is very important. And so more so, and really Republicans just fell asleep behind the wheel on this. Which really sucks. Charlie Baker, they just couldn't draw a Republican or even close to a Republican district.
Not in Massachusetts. No, that we need way more legislative seats in the state house. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Larry Hogan actually did in redistricting help make a more Republican district. We just had Dan Cox, who ran for governor, who is insane, who was actually, was hired by Doug Mastriano out of Pennsylvania. So I'm sorry, I'm like really done with like the Trump crazies. So
they're going to be around. We're going to have to deal with them. It's 25 to 30% of the vote, and that in a crowded field, if somehow it splits off, and DeSantis can't. Not that I don't think he won't, but I'm just saying if by chance he can't, and if he can't, you know what, that says something too. That's actually, but I think he will. I think he'll flat out beat that with a plurality. And it's like, do you want to get into pluralities, right? I don't think you do. The Sununus of the world, and yes, the Haleys of the world, they're going to be also Rands, the Asa Hutchinsons, the Larry Hogans, and anybody else who might come out of the woodwork. It's like, it ain't happening. And it literally needs to happen. It should be happening now. You should be declaring within the next... If you're not Ron DeSantis, you should be declaring in the next few months, because you need a full year to get your campaign, your money, and your organization together.
Well, that was another thing. I do want to point this out. We've already started to see FEC reports for declared candidates. Trump's not doing great on fundraising, he's only brought in like $9 million, which by this time, compared to what is small dollars. For Trump, you always want to track small dollars. You don't really, you should not track big dollars with Trump. It's not doing well. $9 million is not a lot.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. I mean, look, this could be death of 1,000 cuts. You never know. He could see the writing on a wall and go, step out at the last minute and be like, you know what? I endorse Ron DeSantis, and then it's done. You don't, I'm not saying he would, but it's just like, if he sort of knows it, he might want to save face. But then again, he could be like, no, fuck it, it's rigged. I'm going to run in third party. I don't.
Oh, God.
I mean, like anything, like it could happen. I'm just saying it could happen. So look, there's a long road here, and Sununu hasn't technically declared, but when you're doing interviews with Politico and you're bashing the guy who you think's number one, you're not in a good spot. If you're going on CNN,
I mean, Politico.
To begin with, if you think going on CNN, this is the thing. It's like, this is the thing with Sununu. He did this with Howie Carr. Actually pointed this out. It's like he wants to get them to like him. That's kind of like the a northeastern Republican still wants to go to the New York Times, go to the Boston Globe, go to CNN, go on NBC. Ha, look at me, I'm a charming northeastern Republican. I'll convince them that we're the good guys.
Look at my.
No, you won't. No, you won't. It won't happen.
Like I'm like, they still hate your tweet, man. Like.
Yeah.
Like you'll never be one of them.
You'll never be one of them. They'll never ever like you. And there's too many Republicans out there that have that attitude. Well, if we just put on an erudite face and look and come at it from a William F. Buckley standpoint, it's like, yeah, they respected William F. Buckley, They feared William F. Buckley because they knew he was smarter than them, but they maybe very few liked William F. Buckley. Like don't confuse the two.
Yeah.
Don't confuse the two. Like that's why he started his own magazine in 1955. Okay, that's why he did everything he did independently, because he wasn't a part of what was the liberal establishment media. Okay, and if you have a heterodox opinion on any matter, especially today, and this is the new phrase, Kaitlin, you're going to start hearing, you're going to be Hitler of the month.
Oh God.
That's it. The media now, anybody, whether it's Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, anybody who goes against the party line will be Hitler of the month. And you're going to have to deal with the consequences. So what I can say to the people, only Nikki Haley is worth running, and that's to get the VP spot or whatever spot they want. Maybe it's Secretary of State. Those are the two best jobs. So I would say Secretary of State if you just want the job. Anyway, we have anything else to add?
I just want to say that I don't hate Nikki Haley. I just don't think that she's presidential material, and I actually do really respect all the work that she's done on congressional candidates. I've always said that she's just gunning for an admin job, or she could be VP. Like she could be on the ticket with Ron DeSantis.
Let me say, but let me say this. I think she actually, in my opinion, she is presidential material. She has what it takes to be president. I don't know that she has what it takes to get elected president in 2024. That's all. That's how I can, because I don't want to, the woman on paper.
I don't think it's, the thing is that I don't think, how can I say this? I think that we're going to have to get really strict on China. And I think that, this is going to sound worse than I mean, I don't know whether or not she can get really strict on China.
That's a fair point.
My big thing there is I think that we're going to need somebody who's strong-handed on China. I'm really concerned about Chinese plans to invade Taiwan, and trust me, like I don't really believe all you fringe people after the invasion of Ukraine's being like, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it because of the risks. Well, Putin did do it. So China's eyeing Taiwan because China's stronger than Russia is. So I think that she would be a great president. I just want someone who, on foreign policy side, along with strengthening supply chains, is very strong. That's what I need. We can't and that's Reagan-esque, right? Like the thing is that
the policy aspect, sure. I don't, I'm sure that those will sort of align behind the same theme, especially with China for policy. But to the original point, I think, on paper, on resume, on pedigree, she can be president, not a question. Which is why would make a great VP, and in 2032 make a run, right? but or that I'm not saying it can't happen, but I think we need the strongest, most electable conservative candidate, and that's not her. And plus, she does have this stink of the consultant class, for better for worse. And Tucker will start going after her big on this. Tucker does not like her, and you're going to see that attack from the populist side. Be prepared for that.
I think Tucker's probably going to shift his. I think Tucker is going to end up shifting his tone, because I think that everyone who has a brain with two brain cells to rub together are moving on from Trump. And so Tucker likes to regurgitate a lot of Trump's talking points. And so I think that he sees that the movement's kind of shifting. I'm not saying that he's going to be flat out pro Haley. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
I'm just saying that his tone's going to shift just a little bit on policy and the way that he addresses certain candidates.
Then I ask you this exit question, because he's gone after Haley in the past. if he knows in the works is Healy's gunning for a job in the administration,
They all know this.
does he take a different tone with her because of that? Does he lay off her campaign? No.
No, I mean,
Okay.
Tucker's going to be straightforward and aggressive like he always is.
Okay.
I mean, every time I watch him,
Yeah.
which is like once in a blue moon. I don't really watch cable.
I don't watch cable news at all anymore, unless there's an election or something important going on.
I do read the apps. Like I'll read the CNN app. I'll read the Fox News app. I get on MSNBC and it's all garbage. So, I think Tucker will be the same as he always is in aggressive wise, but I think his tone will shift just a little bit on policy and who he kind of is backing. Because there were times where Tucker was directly talking to Trump through the TV, and you could tell in some of the clips that they were posting, but we'll see.
All right. Head on over to patreon.com/RhinoPod, where we just did a recap of the Mass GOP chair race and a few other items. Thank you, as always, for joining us. We do appreciate it. So until next time, a happy Wednesday episode for all of you, and we will see you soon. And I think that's it. Bye-bye.
Bye.